Hello everyone, so today instead of doing WNF, much like the last video, we are going to be looking at WPF, which is a newer version of WNF. So the scenario is very similar. We're still using databasing via SQLite. Instead of using song and band names, we're going to be dealing with vehicles, employees, and actions. So let's go over the database schema real quick. What we have here is the name of the department and its ID. We have the employee with the name, username, password, salary, the foreign key department ID name, and their position. The action is just the employee foreign key ID, the time and date of the action, and the type of action. The make is just the name of the make. The modal is the make's ID foreign key and the name of the modal, and the car is just the color, make, model, foreign key, IDs, value, and miles per gallon. I'm going to leave the employee open. So it's easier for me to just run this and show you everything instead of just going through the code. So let's do that. So starting off, we're hit with the login screen. Let's log in as this guy. Assume he forgets to capitalize his password, then it's unsuccessful, one of them is wrong, so it's case sensitive. So now he's logged in, and now he can view all the cars, so he can view them based off the color, he can view based off the make, he can view based off the modal, the MPG in descending order, and the value in descending order. Then he's also able to go into these other tabs, and in actions you can view based on the employee, which is also secondarily based off of the action type and tertiary based off the date and time. You can sort by the date and time, and you can sort by the action time or action type. You can remove cars based on just clicking whatever you want here. So say I wanted to remove the Koenigsegg Agera, not Regera, then I just do that. See that it's no longer in here. And if I wanted to view it, note that under Koenigsegg you don't see Agera anymore. You can also log out from all of these pages, so note that in action here you can log out, remove car you can log out, add car you can log out, and then you can just log it to someone else. So let's log into this one. Ordinarily these passwords would be salted, peppered, and hashed, but for simplicity's sake I have not done that here. Let's go ahead and add a car. So let's add a red Jada Volkswagen. Now it's been added, so then we could see it through here. It's just been added. And if you go into actions, you'll actually see that right here, this one is where it was added. And just to prove, you can log out from everywhere. So I guess some of the behind the scenes is that when you log in, which is done through this form here, if you have an error, it goes through here. If it's correct, then we record an action, which is this function is in all of my classes, and we call the next form. So what next form is doing is passing in the employee ID so that we can use it as a field in other classes, so we can record actions based on that. So if I go to, say, the car viewer, so the login goes to the car viewer, So when this one is created in the constructor here, the employee ID is passed in and set to a field so that we can use it not only just to record actions, but also to pass it to the other pages such as the car remover, adder, and viewer. And so we have all of the sort by functions. We have the logout function. This one is in every single page except for the login. We have the page swap to add cars, page swap to remove cars, page swap to view actions. Note that in all of these we are passing in the employee ID. That's because for all of those we have the field. And as I mentioned, the record action and connect functions are in every one of these. Within the car viewer we have the car entry. So this is basically how I'm structuring the cars to be displayed on that table that you all saw. Going into the action view, once again it has that field that I mentioned. We have the sort by employee, sort by DT, sort by type. We have the car viewer, so this returns you to the second page, so post login. We have the logout, as I mentioned, and then record and connect. For this one, to display the actions, we need to structure it, so we have the internal action class, which is used to create the employee name, the date type, and the string of the action type used to be displayed. When you enter the car adder from the car viewer, once again it has that field. It calls reset items. This is so that the drop down for the make and model that you saw previously gets its items. On submit, we get the make model from there. That is a class, an internal class here, used to both display on the drop down and get the data back from it. And then it just, if it's in the database already, it's an error. If not, we add it to the database and then we record the action. And the car remover is a similar story. Once again, we have the employee ID. We have the reset items, which just fills out the drop down that you saw, which allows you to select a car to remove. Which, note that this display name that you saw on the previous one and this one is what you see within the drop down. And these are the values being stored in there. So when we are submitting a car, we get it here, and we're able to add the car's ID field as our parameter for the SQL query to delete the car based on their ID. We then add the record and reset. We also have the logout and return to car viewer. Overall, a very interesting project. I look forward to learning more about WPF as well as MVVM, which is not employed in this example. MVVM, as I understand it, is mostly tied in how you program WPF, not necessarily a framework like WPF itself, but it is a very useful concept, methodology, I guess, because it makes your code more readable, which basically, to sum it up, it's divided into 3 layers. 1 UI, 2 is, the first layer is your UI, which is separated from your second layer, which is your code behind, basically handling all your DB actions, your logic behind the scenes. And then you have your third layer, which is the glue that holds the first 2 layers together. Basically your walkie-talkie, so to speak, between your 2 layers.